What is up, travelers? It's me, Regal, and in today's video, we're gonna go look over Diona, the new cryo character in patch 1.1. This is the format going forward I'm going to use when it comes to character reviews and stat analysis, so let me know how you like it. Diona is a ranged cryo character with great utility in her kit. Her basic ability, Ice Paws, shoots claws that deal cryo damage and create a shield that scales with Diona's max HP. The duration of the shield scales with number of claws hit. If you just tap the ability, you will shoot out 2 claws with a 6-second cooldown, and holding the ability will shoot out 5 claws with a 15-second cooldown. Diona's ultimate signature mix creates an ice field that deals damage over time, with an initial burst of damage with 80% scaling of Diona's attack, and 6 ticks of damage that each scale with 50% of her attack. If you manage to get the enemy to take full damage, the ultimate will end up doing 380% of Diona's attack before resistances. As for the healing aura, there are 6 ticks with 2-second intervals in between. In terms of weapons, we don't really have too many options here. The 2 craftable bows are decent, but we just don't have access to a free-to-play bow that would provide elemental mastery or some sort of boost to her support capabilities. In this case, we're going to go with the compound bow because the prototype bow relies on landing hits on weak points, whereas with the compound bow, you just really need auto attack. As for the artifacts, a nice cheap set would be the Exile set. Increasing her energy is the most important here in terms of support because it will increase the uptime for her ultimate. If you want an option to upgrade your artifacts later on, the Instructor set would be a nice addition because of the elemental mastery it provides. This will make it so her reactions hit a little harder, and if you end up using the 4-piece set, you will gain even more elemental mastery. Once you hit in-game, you might be able to get away with using the Maiden's Beloved artifact set in an HP centered build, but I still have to run the numbers on that to see if it's feasible. For a free-to-play team, she pairs really well with Xialing and allows her to trigger, melt, and deal double pyro damage. She pairs well with Barbara and allows her to freeze consistently. As for the final character, it's really up to you. This team has good healing and reactions as it is, so the 4th slot is easily interchangeable and you can just fit in whatever you would like or would need here. From the free-to-play options, I honestly couldn't find a 4th slot that I thought was necessarily vital to put around Diona to maximize her use. Overall, Diona is the jack of all trades. She can heal, she can do some damage, and she can shield. The utility that Diona provides is great, and being cryo, she opens up different team compositions that were previously unavailable. And I don't mean that just because she's a new character you can slot her in and say, oh look, it's a new team comp we didn't have before. I mean that because she's a cryo character that provides us utility that we didn't have before. Being a 4-star character, she is somewhat easy to get if you can afford sparing some gens to summon. Would I recommend her? At the moment it's a bit complicated. She just falls into this really weird area where she doesn't really excel at anything that she does, but she does so many things right. Previously, you wanted healing, you would go with Barbara. You know, she has some really fantastic kit for healing. If you wanted shielding, you would go with Noelle. Her basic ability, Breastplate, would give you a shield. One of her passives would end up giving you another giant shield if you fell below a certain HP threshold. If you wanted cryo, you would have to go with Kea, even though no one really likes using Kea because of his weird scaling and the fact that his basic ability has a really small area of effect. So you have these 3 characters, each with their own established identity, and then Diona comes along and says, hey, I'm gonna do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Not as good, but all in one package. And I think that is what is going to make Diona stand out among all the other characters, is the utility that she brings to the table. She just allows your team to have access to shielding, cryo, and healing all at the price of 1 character slot. And that's just really good. I think the value that it brings goes beyond the numbers and actually opens up a lot of different team comps you didn't have access to before. And it makes a lot of different artifact sets relevant because of the way it's going to have to react. Or let's say the Petra set that gives you bonus attack on shielding. Or if you run her with a double Geo comp, her shielding should proc the shielding bonus. So that's another way to get some consistent damage out. I think right now people are sleeping on Diona's potential, but as time goes on, I think people are going to be able to see, hey, she provides really great utility and she's going to be able to allow us to make a lot of different elemental reactions and boost our DPS. If I had to put my finger on it, I would say she's around a 5 out of 10 right now, but that's mostly due to artifacts not really suiting her needs or not really having access to really good weapons for her as a free-to-play. But I think if people start finding her niche, start finding the right team comps to put her in, the right situations in the upcoming weeks, I think she can easily go up to a 7.5 out of 10. I just think this is really good for the game going forward because it opens up a lot of different playstyles we didn't have access to before, while still keeping the older characters relevant. Because if Diona's scaling or ability to do what she does was as good as one of the original characters, so let's say her shielding was as good as Noelle's, why would I use Noelle? Other than the fact maybe I like her, have her constellations, or want the geo buff, Diona is going to slot in way easier than Noelle would if she had the same shielding capabilities. So I think it's really good that miHoYo is bringing out characters like this that allow us to broaden our playstyles, or the type of team comp we're going to build, or what type of style we want our teams to do. Maybe we want range, maybe we want elemental focus. I think it's really good that we have these options now. What I really like is that this new character doesn't completely phase out the old one. Getting on Diona doesn't mean that Noelle is now irrelevant. It doesn't mean that Barbara's not irrelevant. Barbara's still way better healer. Noelle still way better shields. But Kaeya, yeah, Kaeya's getting replaced, but we all knew that. But I think the way miHoYo approached Diona works really well for the game, and I'm excited to see what's coming out going forward. Well, that's it for today's video. Thank you all for watching. Let's try to get the video to 10 likes. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you found this video useful, and turn on notifications. And be sure to be on the lookout for upcoming videos about the new content from the latest patch. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, feel free to ask. And as always, stay safe out there.